After the events on Jacob Elevator, Axel was sent to an observation facility where he remained in quarantine. The place was raided by a Maverick group called Cerebus Fang, led by an unidentified Maverick who goes by Nexus. Axel and the other Reploids at the facility were captured. Meanwhile, neighboring cities, energy centers, and military headquarters were attacked by Cerebus Fang's Mavericks. The Maverick Hunters were dispatched to deal with this new threat. Thus begins the Maverick Wars anew. Greetings everyone, my name is Atterville, and welcome to my Let's Try of the demo of Mega Man X Maverick Wars, a 16-bit Mega Man X fan game in development by Pixelbox S.A. I'll be spending at least half an hour on this title, giving my second impressions along the way. I'll be playing as X. The Mavericks available are Venus Sabertrap, Electroglide Flyon, and Polar Moose. I'll begin by going after the latter. He sure looks similar to Flamestag, doesn't he? A quick rundown of X's moveset. He can jump, shoot, dash, air dash, wall kick, duck, and charge up his trusty X-Buster. There are some returning enemies. For instance, the snowball throwers from Chill Penguin Stage. Hi there, Frost Walrus. In order to grab onto the rope, hold up and jump. It works about the same way as it did in X5. Be careful here, however, as it feels stiffer. Two routes. Lower route is filled with spikes, so I'll take the upper route instead. Upcoming is the first mini-boss battle. Every stage, barring the extra one, has one in the middle. Kinda screwed this one up. Every Maverick stage can be subdivided into two halves. Strong ice physics make their return. If you remember playing Blizzard Buffalo stage, you know exactly how they function. And up here is the first sub-tank. And that's the end of the stage. I feel the second half should have been longer, utilizing the icy floors more. So Flamestag is his brother. For the first phase, make sure to hug the wall. It'll make dodging this attack a lot easier. Once he goes down to half health, he enters the second phase. In this phase, you can't wall kick, so in order to dodge this attack, you need to air dash over him. I suggest you practice doing so during his easier first phase. Goodbye, Moose. Out of all 4 bosses currently in the demo, I find him to be his second toughest. And yes, I'm including the bonus boss. Another nice feature this game has, if you swap to a special weapon, you can still fire and charge up your X-Buster. The grabbers from Storm Eagle stage. Best to just run past the Metars. Here's a quick shortcut. This mini-boss reminds me of Sigma's second form from X4. Another nice thing, we can charge up all our special weapons from the get-go. During my first playthrough, I had a lot of trouble with this mini-boss. The main thing that tripped me up was grabbing onto the poles. Once I got the hang of it, it became much easier. There are probably 2 upgrades I missed there. I need something that protects me against spikes, as well as something that allows me to dash upwards. Pro tip, stand on the right corner of this platform. That way, if you take a hit, you won't get knocked off of it. His design reminds me of Shining Firefly. Once he goes down to half health, he'll enter the generator and start firing these shock orbs at you. It's random when he decides to go back in there. Goodbye. He's the easiest to second easiest out of the bunch. Note that I'm ranking the bosses in regards to X, not 0. For him, all the bosses are tougher. Let's test out the chain spark. It works better when there are multiple enemies nearby. And here's the charged version. The charged version is nice, but it drains weapon energy over time. Best to use it when there are a lot of enemies nearby. The Torrens from Split Mushroom Stage. The Eye Flower. At first I had some trouble with this mini boss too, but it's really not that bad either. Be careful, if those spores land on you, they will slow down your movement. The main dangers are falling onto the bed of thorns or getting hit by the stinger. Be careful when grabbing onto that vine. During my test runs, it's rather inconsistent whether it decides to work. And you aren't mishearing. Cybertrough's music is broken. It's not looped correctly. Remember that hard tank for the next minute. See, that's how you get it. When I first played this, I thought you needed a special weapon to slip through. These aren't solid objects for whatever reason. Can't advance forwards. I need a special weapon. Something like the Surf Snake or Plug Ball would work. This door refuses to open. Probably where we fight one of the super bosses. Cybertrough Stage is neat, yet unlike the previous two stages, the first half and second half feel like separate stages, outside of sharing the same enemy pool. Notice Sigma's head from X5 in the background. Cybertrough. He's the toughest boss in the game for me, for both X and Zero, primarily because of those sword swipes and vines. Don't touch the ceiling either, it will hurt you. During the first phase, he only generates 4 vines, and only teleports once. Once he enters the second phase, he'll do the downwards teleportation twice, and generate 6 vines. and during his third and final phase, he'll do the teleportation attack 3 times, and generate up to 8 vines. I got something. Off to Arcadia, the extra stage. Unfortunately, Cybertrough's weapon hasn't been implemented yet, so it bugged out the menu. Up here, I can acquire 2 sub-tanks and 6 hard tanks, which means that I missed 1 hard tank and 1 sub-tank in one of the 3 stages. The secret boss of this demo is Superbit. During his second phase, he creates a lot more of those orbs. As formidable as he initially seems, as X, I find him to be the easiest or second easiest boss. All the Mavericks are far more challenging. Now Zero is an entirely different story. Each of those orbs will damage you if you come into contact with them. For X, that's not a problem, but for Zero, who fights up close and personal, it means it's really easy to take damage while attacking him. Overall, I say this demo was pretty solid. Graphics and music harken back to the 16-bit SNES era. Story-wise, I like how this directly takes place after X8. Gameplay-wise, this was pretty solid too. There are some physics differences compared to the SNES games. For one, wall kicking is faster now, but they're not too major. Level design was decent. Fly-on and Moose's stages I feel were the best. Cybertrough could do with some touching up. All the Maverick encounters were fun and challenging. Generally speaking, this game's difficulty is closer to X3's. Several enemy placements force you to act quickly, lest you incur damage, and none of the bosses are pushovers. Overall, this was a pretty enjoyable experience. I wish the best of luck to the developers. Well then, thanks for watching, and have a nice day.